the stunt drivers on the road, man. With the fire day driver, what's your emergency? It's better late than never. So why all the hurry? Speeding is the main cause of plenty mishaps. Hey. The road is now a racetrack, threatening life and property, and all the result of that led to death and injury. Inconsiderate driving, this nonsense need to stop. Stop. I'm making it my business to alert all motorists, especially those who love to break traffic laws. I have seen what speed can do. Here I am to your rescue to help you to live. Just take this advice I give. Slow down. I want in all drivers. Slow down. Take care of your passengers. Slow down. Be careful on the road. Hey. Don't make it an episode. How much more tragedy we have to endure to face the reality. Less is safer than more. I'm begging all my friends. Be careful on the road. Slow it down, hey. Roger.
All right, so that's what we're going to do. We're going to slow it down and get into our program. We're going to open the lines in just a bit. But before we do so, let me say good morning to Sergeant Henry. And we are standing by for our guest this morning, Mr. Gilbert, who will be here shortly. He has indicated that he's on his way. So we're going to start the program regardless, and then we'll hear from him. In the meantime, greetings to you once again, and welcome to the studio.
Good morning, GQ, and how are you?
I am great, thank you.
This morning I want to talk about the courage uses of the roundabout, the usage of the roundabouts.
Mm-hmm.
Because persons are still using the roundabouts incorrectly. And as I have said earlier on previous shows, I said if you're going right, first let me say good morning to the listening public, those via the radio and internet. As I said earlier, if you're going straight from a roundabout, you know you're heading from Camps roundabout or Buckley's roundabout, and you want to go straight down to Gillard's, or you want to go into St. Peter's, you're going to take the left, that's the one on the outside of the roundabout. If you want to go right, or you want to go where you came from, that's back to Buckley's, you're going to go in the right lane, which is the inner one.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're going left or straight, you stay on the outer one. If you're going right or around where you came from, you're going the inner one. And it is so easy. But some persons think, okay, if I'm going right, I must go in the inner one. Sorry. If I'm going left, I must go in the inner one. So sometimes you're going left or you're going straight, and somebody's going the same direction with you, and both of you end up in opposite lane, but we are traveling together.
What I've heard people expressed here on the morning show is the inner lane, or the reference to the inner lane, confused them. Because when they think the inner lane, they're thinking of the lane on the right side.
The inner one is the right one. That's the one closest to the roundabout.
Right, and some people think the other way around, that the inner lane is the one closer to the sidewalk.
No, the inner one is the one closest to the roundabout. That's on your right-hand side, because we drive on our left here. Mm-hmm. So it's on your right-hand side. That's the inner one. Mm-hmm. And the outer one, which is the left one, is the one to the roundabout. To the sidewalk, as Jixie just said. So the inner one is the right, the outer one is the left. So as I said, if you're going straight or left, you take the left one. That's the outer one. If you're going right, or where you came from, you take the inner one, which is the right one, the one closest to the roundabout.
Thank you so much.
I have the one down by the airport. Some people say they get confused with that. Because you can go to the airport on the left one, you can go straight to Kim Collins, or you can go to Keon direction. That's on the left one, which is the outer one, the one closest to the sidewall. The inner one, if you're going to Bastille, or you're going back up to F.T. Williams Highway, You take the inner one, which is the right one. So this morning I have Mr. Gilbert from Public Works with me here this morning, and he's going to talk about the construction that was done at the airport roundabout. Mr. Gilbert?
Good morning. Good morning, GQ.
Good morning, Mr. Gilbert. Good seeing you, man.
Yes. Good morning to my colleague.
Good morning.
And good morning to those in Radio Land and looking or listening by some other platform. I want to say a pleasant good morning to you. I am here to inform you about the airport roundabout. At the airport roundabout, what happens, the roundabout at the airport was constructed in 2007, and it has outgrown its useful life. And what we recognize happen is that the lanes, some of the lanes are single lane. They're coming from the Keon end, going into Bastia, Bird Rock. You actually have to queue up to go around or to go about your business. So every morning, weekdays, the traffic backs up for miles. I can testify because I have to traverse in it every morning. So what we have done, we have actually create a slip lane, so those persons who go into Bird Rock, Frigate Bay, that side there, you have a slip lane. So when you come by the playfield gate at Connery, you will actually keep left into the slip lane, and then you will exit somewhere on Kim Collins, and then you continue. Now, as the inspector was saying, give way to traffic from your right. So it means when you reach to the end of the slip lane, you actually don't just merge into the traffic. You have to look for the oncoming traffic and give way to them, and then you join the queue. Now, what we will do, we will actually put what is known as a rumble strip, a rough material. So coming into the slip lane, you'll have that rumbling, so you have to slow down to go into it. And then when you reach to the end of the slip lane, we'll have a rumble strip again, so you will slow down for you to merge into the traffic. Not that you come into the traffic and you try to speed and get in front of somebody and you create an accident there. So you have to slow down because of the rumble strip. Now what we have done, we have put some barriers, they call them Jersey barriers, to separate the main lane, which will take you into Bastia, and that which will take you into Kim Collins Highway. Now, the Jersey barriers to prevent you from jumping the queue. For example, I am going to Frigate Bay, that side there, and I'm taking your JQ with me. And then when we reach in the area, they said, no, I'm going into town. I said, oh yes, I forgot. And I tried to turn and join the traffic there and cut across somebody and create an accident or create confusion there. So to avoid that, I will have to continue and go along the Kim Collins until it is clear, and I make my turn, my U-turn, and then I come back and pick up the airport roundabout and I go down into town. Now, that is coming from that side there now. So, if you're going to go into Bastia now, you will take the middle lane, the normal lane, come down to the roundabout, look, give way to traffic from your right, and then you will proceed and go along to go into Bastia. Now, coming from the airport side, going into Connery now, what we are going to do is that we are going to cut off a piece of the wall there to open up there. So what we are doing, we are making the lanes in those areas there wider than the usual road width. So what will happen, the lorries, we have actually modeled it so that the 40-foot container can traverse around it in its lane comfortably. Now, also on that side there, to the Ministry of Finance side, Sanford Building, we have a bus lane. So then you can pull off those buses which are going to actually have passengers to disembark or to load. They will actually pull off into their bus lane and stop in their bus lane, pick up passengers, offload passengers, and then they will proceed to the end of the bus lane, and then they will join the traffic when it's clear. Now, we put a Jersey barrier there to prevent them from going back into the main lane. Now, what would have happened is that you would have stopped, pick up somebody, and then you just pull out in front of somebody, which would create confusion and accident. All over the world, you see bus lane, and then you have to give clearance to the bus lane. So the bus will pull into its lane, go down and stop, disembark passengers, and then load again, and then they will move on and join the queue again. So that's what we are trying to do. We are trying to raise the standard, trying to bring our country up to the international standard. So that is what we are doing there. So we put with some reflectors onto the Jersey barriers. We have actually painted them, in spite of the fact that as soon as we cast them, we paint them a few days after. We didn't let them dry up because we want to highlight them. So we will paint them again. We'll actually put more reflectors on it. We'll mark the road. We start marking the road, but the asphalt is still what we call, what you would say, wet. So then we actually do some temporary marking to it. We'll mark it over again so that to highlight it. So at least we put up signs to indicate to you where to go, where to take this lane, where to take what lane, and label the lanes, label the signs to say to Bird Rock or to Bastille. So we're going to do all of that. So I want you to recognize that this is a new initiative, and I want drivers, I appealing to the traveling public to be cautious while you're driving in the area there. Thank you very much.
No, thank you, sir. Sergeant?
You have any calls right now?
Well, okay, let's open the lines now then. 465-2555, that's 2555. And for those of you in the United States area or Canada who would like to join the conversation, 718-577-2916. In the meantime, while we wait for the calls for their questions and concerns, well, as a matter of fact, let's take our first call. Good morning. Hey.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Sergeant.
Good morning.
And good morning, Mr. Gilbert.
Good morning.
Mr. Gilbert, I always impressed with your explanation.
Thank you.
I mean, and that initiative is a very good initiative. And the way you explain it, I believe, you know what I mean, you need to, maybe traffic need to bring you on board. Well, on a serious note, it is a very good initiative because, you know what I mean, I work at the airport and sometimes you see the long stretch of vehicles coming from Cairn area at morning time. You know what I mean? I sure a lot of the traffic personnel used to get so annoyed being in the traffic for so long. And especially if you want to go to Frigate Bay at Boardwalk. That just makes a lot of sense. Once you reach in that area, you just move over to that lane. And I just pray and hope that person utilize it properly so they don't get caught up and then they complain because it just makes proper sense. And Sarge, in relation to the roundabout, yeah, it is a serious problem. There's a lot of persons still don't understand the roundabout. You know what I mean? I just sometimes, just split second, you don't have some serious accidents because persons don't know exactly where they want to go. They don't know which lane to use. And then at the end of the day, sometimes you just by the grace of God, that's why you don't have so many accidents in the roundabout. So I'm glad that you brought it up again. Maybe you need to bring it up some more time, or maybe something need to put on the television so persons can get a better understanding. Or people just need to just sometimes take your time and just, especially when you proceed into a roundabout, sometimes people don't know exactly where they want to go, and in the last minute they just change over, pull over, and you sometimes you're scrabbling. But as I said, it's a very good, timely topic in relation to, because there's so many vehicles on the road, and persons have to, and sometimes you have to have patience. And that's one, I think, is one of our problems. Sometimes we're in a rush to go nowhere fast, and then we get in an accident, as you always advertise. And when you get in an accident, you still have to wait much longer to even reach to your destination. So a great show. You all have a good day. Thank you for listening.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Carl. That is so true. When you get an accident, you have to wait longer still. Because sometimes the officer is at the next scene, and you still have to wait. And when you have to wait, you come impatient.
All right, here's a question for you, Sergeant Henry. 2 vehicles going to Rams Birdwalk via Central Bank Roundabout.
From where?
One coming from the airport and the other coming from Pond Road. Which lanes do each take?
If you're coming from Pond Road, you're going to take the inner one, which is the right one, because you're going to Rams. If you're coming from Kim Collins and you're going to Rams, you're going to take the left one, which is the outer one, because remember, the left one, take it straight or left. So if you're coming from Kim Collins, you're going to take the outer one. If you're coming from Frigate Bay Road, you take the inner one, because you're going right. Yes.
All right, thank you. Good morning, you're live.
Good morning, Mr. Liebert. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Good morning to Mr. Gilbert and
Good morning.
Sergeant Henry. Good morning to you all.
sir.
Morning.
Good morning.
Mr. Gilbert and Sergeant Henry, it is of any possible person who can see well, not necessarily having 20/20, see the clear view and understanding that the Department of Public Works and engineers and traffic department is trying to make the road safe for everybody. It is clearly seen. But when people are going to use their anticipation and speak up for edge, that is in no interference with no one else, unless you're going what direction that is clearly seen for you to go, to jump over a wall to mash up your bottom pan. Why would people still do realize there are good things, and instead of them really appreciating the good things, speak of things that is either contrary or not convenient to them? Sergeant Henry and Mr. Gilbert, I have seen and understood what all you're doing, and I appreciate it. However, there are some things I wish to discuss, but not this morning, because it's time consuming. But I'll probably call you, Sergeant Henry and Mr. Gilbert, to speak of the things that I observed in the streets, the traffic, etc. One last note. The Fort Thomas Road and the bottom of West Bongard on the north side of Fort Thomas Road does need a mirror. People who donate these mirrors is fed up of donating them to the traffic department because they see the people are destroying and matching them up, which of course has no interest to see whether or not they are trying to help the situation of traffic clearly. But anyway, everybody have a good day and take care. Goodbye.
Thank
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Here's another question for you, well, for both of you. Who is responsible for making sure that road signs or any type of signs are not obstructing the traffic signs on the road? The reason why that person is asking that is because they're seeing party signs blocking road signs. So they're wondering if that individual or authority has not seen that as yet, and what's taking so long to get that rectified.
The traffic department and also public works are responsible for that.
Okay.
But with the party signs, I haven't seen any, and if the person could say where it is, I can go and look into it.
Okay,
But
great.
I don't know where, so I can't say.
Okay.
But traffic department and public works are responsible for sign or signage.
Okay. Good morning, you're live.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, morning.
Yeah, I want to say thanks to the gentleman from Public Works, Mr. Gilbert, for the explanation. I just want to make a comment about something that he said with respect to if someone would have taken the slip lane and gone on to Kim Collins, and they suddenly recognized that they needed to go into town.
Mm-hmm.
And he intimated that what they could do is to go a little further and make a U-turn.
When it's clear.
I want to suggest, though,
Mm-hmm.
that rather than making a U-turn, normally a U-turn is not accepted on a highway or a busily traffic, a busily traversed roadway like that. So what needs to happen is that they need to go straight onto the Central Bank roundabout in order to make the turn and come back. Because what some persons are not mindful that sometimes the traffic is very busy and they still try to make the U-turn and they end up in problems. So the safe thing to do is to continue along until you get to the Central Bank roundabout and then make your turn there. Similarly for any other road like that. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Yeah.
Point is noted. Noted.
All right, let's take another call. Good morning.
Yes, a pleasant good morning again, GQ.
Yes, ma'am, morning.
To the officer of Mr. Gilbert, the officer first. Thank you for the little thing you put in Newton Ground, but I need to see some more, though, especially the body church. Because up to this week, you had a serious accident there, right? Because things park up there still. Even though you say drop off and go, people parking up right by the supermarket. So I really need to do something to that. Okay. Mr. Gilbert, you promise you're going to come to see what this gentleman do in Newton Ground. Because some elder people, the wall them ain't finished. Man sitting on the wall them, putting a lot of garbage in the man wall, cockroach already, empty steel holes. You need to come. You say you're coming up to now, you don't come.
That is by the
Newton Ground.
yeah, where Newton Ground again?
By the Mango Tree and by the just below by the Super Wet. There's a lady there, nurse lady. The wall ain't finished.
Okay,
All the
by
water
nurse
was
lady.
in the yard. I don't know kind of walkway that they put. They put the walkway, for the water run in she yard. So the water going on and she basement. She report it, nobody come. Up to now the project ain't done, and then the next one for the arm by dark, a while here, ain't finished up to now. So you say you don't come. So a year ago now you don't come. Please come look into these things. These things are cause hazard. All the steel hole in there, no steel hole full. The man had the wall good, with all the black seam covered, cap. Now I build a wall here and nothing tall on the wall. And all the steel hole them still empty. Man sitting down there, showing all the garbage in the man here. That ain't nice. Please come look at it.
Okay.
I pay a whole man to do the work and he not do the work. He gotta left the work. Thank you for listening.
Thank you.
Thank you, Carlo. Yeah, you talk about the drop-off sign by the supermarket. A drop-off sign is only for person to drop off and move on, not for parking and stay. It's just either to drop off or unload. So, I'll have the Sandy Point Police Station look into that for you, sir.
All right. Someone is making reference to the use of roundabouts inside of the roundabout. The same individual who asked the question about coming from Pond Road and Kim Collins by the roundabout by Central Bank.
Yeah.
They're saying in the center of the roundabout, the individual coming from Kim Collins Highway and the individual coming from Pond Road or Figgebury Road, they clash in the center in there. That's what that individual is saying. How to avoid that clash. When you're in the center, how do you maneuver in the center?
Okay, if you're in the center, all you have to do is give way to the traffic which is on your right. So you just slow down and let the person continue. Because the one that is coming from Kim Collins, you have a cutoff there, where you could cut off and then go. So all you have to do is just give way, let the person continue, and then you go ahead.
Okay.
You told you all don't have to rush to reach your destination.
Okay. Good morning, you're live. Hey.
Sergeant,
Good morning.
who are you? Chief of Police and Public Works Superintendent, everybody, good morning.
Morning.
Yeah. Sergeant Henry, I'm glad that you went to take a look at the problem there up by Shadwell, by Dr. Lake Drive.
Yes, sir.
I'm so happy that you listened to us on the radio and you went and take a look at it. So I have the lady who all know that we're not just talking hot here.
No, you're all not, sir.
And my thing is this, so how I understand the roundabout, especially the one up there by Central Bank. Now, if I'm coming from airport and I want to go Frigate Bay, I still left with drive on the left.
Yes.
So I supposed to just be able to pull off and go Frigate Bay from off the left.
Yes.
If I'm going to Boardwalk, I still stay left.
Thank you.
And when I get to one on Boardwalk Road, I just pull and go straight Boardwalk. If I want to go to the gas station close by, I still stay left. Go around Cobb and then head back to the fire station and then pull in the gas station. I don't have to cross over anybody to go in the gas station. And if I'm coming from Kim Collins Airport and I want to go back to the airport, then I would use the inner lane, which is the right lane, and make a C around the roundabout and then head back up to Kim Collins. That is what the caller before me was explaining. And I think he's right. Instead of going across the road, go make a U-turn, go right around the thing, the roundabout, pull off on the inner lane and go around and go back up the airport. That is how I understand it. But you all are doing a great job, as usual. Have a good day.
All
Thank
right.
you, caller.
You okay?
One thing I want to straighten up. You say if you're coming from Kim Collins and you want to go to the gas station, you stay on your left. You have to go in your right. You have to go to your right. Because remember, you're taking a right turn. So there's where you have to go, not on the left. Remember, the left, take a left or straight. The right one, which is the inner one, closest to the roundabout, you go right. And right is because you're going down to Frigate Bay Road or the gas station. That is which one you have to take, not the left one, sir.
Right. So the right is either for the U-turn or if you're going right.
Yes.
Okay. Let's go back to the phone line. Good morning.
Hello, good morning, my friends.
Good morning.
No, what is happening? You have thousands of vehicles on the road, and I think many people need to understand that. And if everybody wanted to reach on the Japo, 8 o'clock, and you have thousands and the roundabout and the turns and so on, patience would have to be practiced. So everybody look at the one who rush each other and that we will have a lot of accidents to beat the time. But the key point is that patience and things will work out.
Thank you so much, man. Let's take this next call. Good morning, you're live.
Yes, good morning, GQ. How are you doing?
Hey, I'm doing good, man.
Yeah, good morning, Sarge.
Good morning.
I am the chap who mentioned last week about the drain or the walkway by Ashberries. Did you get to check it out, Mr. Gilbert?
Yes, sir. I was going to come to that.
Okay.
Okay, as soon as I leave from here, I was going to go. I take Mr. Gilbert with me.
Yes.
I went and we checked it out, and also the one on Church Street. The crosswalk.
Yes, okay.
We did that,
Thank you. Mr. Gilbert.
Yes, sir. Good morning. Good morning, my neighbor.
Okay. Say no more.
Okay.
Thank you very much for your information. And I would say, let the whole world hear me. You're supposed to be a teacher. Sergeant, GQ?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm his neighbor. And every time I see him, I tell him that same thing. He's supposed to be a teacher. Because his explanation is so explicit that even the junior standard child could understand. Right? And Mr. Gilbert, you got to go teach it. And to culture, you have been blazing this trail for years, and you ain't dead yet because I heard you this morning.
Mm-hmm.
Your words ain't fall on deaf ears with those signs at the roundabout. And our good friend, the roundabout fella who speak every time about the roundabout. Listen, man, they're coming. Maybe not one time, but there is improvement. And Mr. Gilbert and the Sarge, thank you very much. Mr. Gilbert, you go teach the youth, the country youth. See you later.
You're welcome, Carly. Thank you.
Again, he mean teach again. Yes, Sergeant Henry.
Yes.
Yeah. Last words for you. We're gonna wrap it up now.
Okay. I just want to thank the callers for calling in, for giving your support to us, also for your comments and your observation. If there's anything that you see that needs to be done on the road, just call us. You don't have to wait till I come on this show. You can call Traffic Department and ask for Sergeant Henry. I'm always willing to listen and to look for anything that you want to be done.
That's it. I almost said Dr. Gilbert. Mr. Gilbert, the last words?
Yes, as I said from the beginning that I was here to speak about the airport roundabout, the upgrade work at the airport roundabout. And I want you, the listening public, the traveling public, to be mindful, to drive with caution. And remember, it's 20 miles an hour in the roundabout. So if we do 20 miles an hour, we can't go wrong. So be mindful that we have a slip lane now. It's a little different, and we have to get it in our memory so that at least we can maneuver effectively. So thank you very much, GQ.
Yes, sir.
And Sarge for having me here today, and the general public for listening. Thanks again. Have a good day.
All right, man. Don't touch that dial. We have another talk report coming up next.
Attention, all drivers.
In case you don't know us, you're just twisting the dial away and managed to bump into us. This is ZIZ Radio from Adam St. Kitts.
Are you looking for a place that provides skilled nursing care and rehabilitation services